Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. I'm just going to adjust the camera there. Actually, let me see if I can adjust the table so I can put the camera on straight. Okay, I think that's probably about as good as we're going to get there. Yeah, we'll set it like that. Just trying to play around with it a little bit. Anyway, I talked about making a trip out to Noble Knight yesterday, which I made the trip, and obviously I'm back safe and sound since I was able to make Mystical Munchies today and the Mag 23 Guadalcanal recipe, or the Mag 23 Guadalcanal video yesterday. So I figured I'd show off a little bit on what I got on that trip. One we're just going to show off, and the other we're going to go deep on. So here's our show-off product. I actually picked up, once I get this open, they taped this thing up pretty well, obviously, to the point where I'm probably just going to have to completely tear it. What did they... Okay, never mind. I was going to say, did they double bag this? But no, they used one of their... I guess they used one of their big bags to wrap it up. But, since apparently playmats seem to be a thing for me, what I picked up here... I'll move that back for a second. And we'll adjust there. But what we've got here is the red playmat for cartographers, a role-player tale. It's the Flip and Write from Thunderworks games set in the role-player universe. Now, I'd pay attention to this in December if I were you, because I am planning to get cartographers on the channel. So that was one of the things I picked up on my trip yesterday, and I'll probably need to get a playmat tube for that. The other thing I got is what we're going to go deep on in this video. So what I picked up... What else I picked up was a copy of Warfighter, the Tactical Special Forces card game. This is actually supposed to be the first edition. Now, I haven't done much with Warfighter since I unboxed Shadow War on the channel. I did finally get Shadow War out for the first time actually late last month. What I discovered, though, was as a learning game, I don't really think Shadow War for me was the right place to start with this series. I think the stealth element, for me at least, the stealth element felt like it was a bridge too far, or it felt like it was one too many things that I was having to learn with the series. So I'm going to put that one up for the time being. And I'm going to come back to that when I've got a little more experience in the Warfighter universe. Which brings me to the question of, okay, I wanted to get more experience in the Warfighter universe, so how did I get that? I figured I wanted a more Smash Mouth setting, so I'm going to pick up, I've got a few different more Smash Mouth games on the way in. I'll unbox those, of course, when they come in, but this was a pickup from Noble Knight yesterday, so we're going to go ahead and give this a look as well. We're going to go ahead and give this a look. We'll take a look at the back of the box. Hostiles down, advancing toward the objective. Warfighter places you on up to 5 of your friends in modern combat missions. You'll begin each mission by selecting your highly trained operators and equipping them with the world's best weapons, equipment, and skills. During the mission, you'll engage hostiles as you advance through locations on the way to your objective. This box includes the cards for 3 settings: Middle East insurgents, jungle drug cartels, say that 5 times fast, and Middle East military. Warfighter can be played with 1 to 6 players. Each player takes on the role of a Special Forces soldier running a tactical mission. The game system controls the hostile forces. Warfighter does not require any special rules for solitaire play. Good thing, too, because I really prefer solitaire play. As well, with war games, I would say solitaire is basically required. And then look for the Warfighter expansion packs to expand your missions. We'll bring that up so we can see a list of what's all supposed to be in here. So now we can try to get the wrapping off here. I was hoping it would be shrink wrapped, but alas, no dice there. And of course my knife is right here actually, so I can cut this open, and I think I need to. Okay, nice and easy there. We'll close that carefully. And we'll get this out of the wrapping. The wrapping's off, you can see the box there. And let's see what we've got in here. So, first up we've got the rule book. We'll give that our cursory thumb through in a minute. What else do we have here? This looks like the map. I'll widen that out. And we've got all our counters which need to be punched out, but I can deal with that. And the backside of that counter sheet. Oop, gotta be careful. And we've got the front side of the second counter sheet. And the back side there. Then we've got minis. This is kind of an interesting touch. Maybe it's just like a theater of the mind kind of thing. And we've got what looks like, what are these? These bullet dice or something? Maybe the rule book will tell me more about that when we give it our thumb through. And all the cards, which are of course sealed, and apparently dropping on the floor at the moment, but again, we've got our sealed cards. Another section for another action deck. Insurgent hostile deck in the Middle East. For the jungle. What's this? We got some expansions in here? Huh. I wasn't expecting to have any expansions in here. And is there anything... Oh! Looks like there... Oh! Must be stuff for the other settings. Looks like we've got more of those same bullet dice. And we've got the Cartel Hostile deck for the jungle. Another hostile deck for the jungle. I'm not gonna pull these cards out because I'm not gonna punch everything out until I'm actually ready for it all. We've got more sets of the minis. More of the bullet dice. How would you even roll these? That seems a really weird choice. I'll probably be getting some more traditional dice to go with this once I get the feel for it. And actually, since I know Ruff is a huge expert on the Warfighter series, maybe he can weigh in with A, what he thinks I might need to sleeve once I get more serious about this version in particular, and B, what kind of dice I'm going to need. From the looks of the bullet dice, it looks like I'm probably going to need at least a D10. Looks like I'm going to need at least a few D10s and looks like I'm going to need at least a D10 and a D6. Hopefully it shouldn't be too much more than that, but let's go ahead and move this stuff out of the way. Mostly so I can A, lay out the board, but it looks like it's just going to be... I wonder if this might be what they meant by first edition, where it's not going to have the full board, and B, will give the rulebook our cursory thumb through. Alright, so there's the board. Try to straighten that out. Okay, that glare is going to be obnoxious on... Let me see if I can turn that light down a little bit on that side. That glare is going to be obnoxious to film. So if I end up liking this game enough to get this on the channel, I'm going to want to find the map for this pronto. So yeah, that's going to be very annoying. I'm also going to need a map for Shadow War and some of the other stuff I've got coming in, but I'm not going to spoil that until it actually gets here. But yeah, that glare is going to be very annoying. So let's get that out of shot. Then we'll bring the rule book over and we'll give it our cursory thumb through. So let me zoom in here. That should just about do the trick. All right, we've got our soldier on the cover with our table of contents. Okay, so we got the bullet dice there. Let's actually grab one of those out. Actually, we'll grab, here we go. So how would we even roll these? Yeah, I don't know how crazy I am about that. I feel like I just want regular dice. I don't think they needed to be gimmicky bullet dice, but that's just my opinion on that. Okay. Alright. Looks like the rule book so far looks to be pretty straightforward. At least I haven't had problems with the DVG rule books that I've gotten a hold of. Okay. Okay, just giving this a continue thumb through. Now, one thing I've never understood is the resource points. Is that per player, or is that for the... Is that per player, or would that be for an entire squad? Like, if I'm playing... Like, let's say I'm playing with 3 other friends. Do we all have the 57 points or however many is on the resource card between us? Or does each player get 57? Would each player get the full allotment of points? Because it seems like it would be broken for if each player got the full points. You'd just be so decked out that you'd be able to run through everything pretty much lickety-split, assuming the dice cooperate with you. Okay, going through the turns in the example of... Just going through an example of play, or is it just... Okay, so presumably the notes are for the example of play are probably from the hostile, or probably from the italicized text. Okay, even intro cards for, or even rules for how to play a campaign. And now we've got the sample playthrough. Okay. And we've got more card keywords. I've also got a set of... I'll actually go back... Actually, I'm not going to go out and grab it, but I do have the new recruit manual for this version, along with a quick reference card, or a quick reference page, and a set of keywords all printed up for this. And that's everything that's in the box for Warfighter. So now let me see if I can get this all closed back up. I can pretty much guarantee that that insert is not going to stay in the box for long. Which one was it? I think it was these guys. Yeah, like I said, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts looking at this that this insert is not going to stay in this box for very long, especially if I end up sleeving the cards, which once I figure out what's what, and if I really like this universe, which I found the universe to be interesting when I had my first exposure to it in Shadow War. But like I said, I think the stealth aspect was probably a bridge too far, at least for learning purposes. So we'll get all that back in the box. Just make sure the box is good. Okay. That is everything in the box from Warfighter First Edition, and this was my loot for my Noble Knight trip yesterday. And so I'm going to set up tomorrow's video where we'll be starting Christmas in Arkham proper with the first leg of the campaign as we play Eldritch Horror. Monday we'll be taking our first look at a playthrough of Mr. President, And Saturday next week, Mystical Munchies continues out of the Final Fantasy XIV Ultimate Cookbook with the side Honey Muffin. I'll zoom that out just a touch. There we are. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.